Okay, so although the garden is still looking pretty well, with there being lots of colour still, things are looking pretty strong, with plants sending up new buds and flowering with all their might. We are due our first proper frost this weekend, and so it's time to get on with the overwintering work. Okay, I'm going to be repotting this into fresh compost mixed with perlite to give it some aeration. Okay, next up, the colocasia. So we've got escalenta, blue Hawaii, marigold, and white lava. I always feel so conflicted when it comes to overwintering these, especially when they're still looking great, as the escalenta is, and the blue Hawaii has not long pushed out a new leaf. However, should the weather forecast be proven correct, I'd be silly not to get on with overwintering these. Okay, so here is our colocasia out of the pots. I'm going to get these washed off and have a look at what we're dealing with. Okay, so I've now washed the roots off, and I've been quite open about the fact that I'm learning as I go. So I'm going to show you something that I'm learning. The escalenta I divided last year, and this was the small division that I chopped off the main corm and grew this beautiful escalenta from. That is very clear as to what I have to do in order to dry store that. As for the other three, I got these from a single seller, and they were all very small plants. I've now taken them out of their pots and washed the roots off, and I was expecting to see that they too would have a corm, but as you can see, as you dig down, there's nothing there to dry store. All I see is a mass of roots, and I've gone in on each of them and it's just roots. So I'm just a little bit confused as to what's going on. I thought that I was going to be able to dry store the corm in the same way that I did for the escalenta, which I grew from scratch there. So slightly confused here. And I think as a result of me being unsure, I'm going to repot these up into some fresh soil. If I am missing something that is obvious here, please, experienced growers, comment below and let me know. But whilst I'll happily dry store my escalenta, it's not clear what I'm going to find under those roots, and so I'm simply going to repot them and take them in. and that may well be able to be divided again next spring. We'll see. Those beautiful leaves will be chopped up and placed on one of the beds. I'll take off some of the leaves on these. To be honest, they all look terrible at the moment. That's the marigold and the blue Hawaii. Leave those two leaves on. And for the white lava, I'll do the same again, leaving on the healthiest looking leaf. So you'll see that I'm doing a bit better than last year. I mentioned that I don't usually garden with gloves, and as you can see, we're moving. There's a hybrid situation. I have one glove and I have one free hand, and ironically the free hand is the one that's in the soil. Don't ask. Right then, white lava, this is going to be your home. It will be snug in there, but I just want to keep you ticking over until it warms up again around May time. So the escalenta I'll leave indoors for a bit to dry out before I get it in a box with the vermiculite. There's the marigold, the blue Hawaii and the white lava. The canna here, which never got going really in this pot, and you can probably see why, with how congested all those roots are. Right, I chopped that mass in half. We now have, hopefully, what will be 2 cannas next season, and I'll get these inside just to dry out for a little while, and then I will dry store them in the same way that I'll dry store the Colocasia escalenta. I think we'll call it a day there for part 1. Join me in the next video where I'll be overwintering Gunnera, mulching over some plants that I'll be leaving in the ground. I'll be getting the Ensete banana out, moving the sago palm, the Musa basdew and more. See you on the next one.